Yes, people, the Ultimate Farmer era is back on Monday Night Raw. What a great day for all the wrestling fans around the world. The cringe era is over. It's time for Brock Lesnar to take Raw back. I'm happy, people. The face of greatness of wrestling is back where he belongs, in the Universal Championship title picture. As a matter of fact, he's our new champion, and I could not be any happier.
The Ultimate Farmer.
That was definitely a decent pay-per-view, but it would be a decent pay-per-view for something called Bash, or Payback, or Backlash. It was necessarily very extreme. We got a couple of Extreme Rules matches, and these matches were not extreme as well anyway. So, I should probably call it normal rules. Ooh, I'm so funny, people. Some highlights for me were The Undertaker wearing a push-up bra or something, because that attire is different, I guess. And I'm not a big fan. I'm not a big fan, and that confused me. He wants his, I don't know. I wish WWE would copy AEW and actually introduce time limit, because I wasn't a fan of the Nikki Cross, Bayley, and Alexa Bliss match. 5-minute limit, please. Now, for most people, this pay-per-view lasted 3 hours, 53 minutes, and 44 seconds. For me, it lasted 3 hours and 50 minutes. I skip Nikki Cross's entrance all the time, so if you don't wanna see Nikki Cross entrance, you gotta watch it the next day. Oh, and by the way, I forgot to tell you that, but Brock Lesnar is the new Universal Champion. I'm not saying that it was not extreme at all. I mean, Braun Strowman versus Bobby Lashley stuff was entertaining, although I gotta say, it was not a rope match. It was not a rope match. Imagine my disappointment. They were building it and building it and building it, and at the end of the day, we still didn't get the rope match. In all seriousness, this match was better than expected, and if that was Paul Heyman's booking, and Paul Heyman made me care about Braun Strowman and Bobby Lashley, and made people chant, "This is awesome" at Bobby Lashley and Braun Strowman, I repeat, this is awesome at Bobby Lashley and Braun Strowman, dude, Paul Heyman needs to stay with the WWE and give him more money. So Extreme Rules 2019 was an interesting pay-per-view. Like I've said, a very good pay-per-view if it was not called Extreme Rules, because it definitely was not. So why don't we just start from the pre-show? I didn't watch Drew Gulak match. I simply don't care, people. I simply don't care. And by the way, in the pre-show, we got the Intercontinental Championship match. Finn Balor versus Shinsuke Nakamura. Very predictable. Finn Balor is retaining the championship. Nope. Shinsuke Nakamura actually won the title. They're trying to fix Shinsuke Nakamura, I guess, by putting him in a pre-show for the Intercontinental Championship. Yeah, that's great. Decent match, you know, a great way to start the kickoff show. Shinsuke Nakamura is your new Intercontinental Champion. He won the match with a Kinshasa. And I'm glad, you know, Finn Balor is possibly in the top 5 worst Intercontinental Champions of all time. So I don't really think that it's a negative that he lost the championship. Maybe not on the pre-show, but I'm just happy that we have a new champion, even if it's Shinsuke Nakamura. I'm not a big fan of the guy, but it's something. Surprisingly, the Extreme Rules 2019 pay-per-view kicked off with The Undertaker and Roman Reigns versus Shane McMahon and Drew McIntyre, bruh. Explain me, please. Explain me what I'm seeing right here. Anyway, a decent match. You know, I gotta say that it felt like The Undertaker kinda felt, you know, guilty for not giving us a match, a good match at WWE Super Showdown, and he was actually very fast in this match. Of course, he had a tag team partner in Roman Reigns, so it was a bit easier, and we also got a few cool spots. For example, Shane McMahon jumping on The Undertaker on the announce table. That was a pretty cool moment. It was a no-holds-barred match, but it was not that special. I mean, for the most part, the stipulation was used to get Elias, and you know, Elias got his ass kicked by The Undertaker, so that was pretty decent. But yeah, about that t-shirt, I'm just still thinking about the t-shirt. Why? What's the reason? Like, seriously, what's the reason? He looks in a great shape. We also got a cool coast-to-coast spot on The Undertaker. And just when I said The Undertaker absolutely nailed it in this match, Roman Reigns basically pushes Shane McMahon to The Undertaker. The Undertaker wants to do a tombstone. Well, at least he fixed it, and then he did a tombstone piler driver. 1, 2, 3. Undertaker kisses Roman Reigns on the cheek or something. No, he did. I guess. Anyway, that's not the point. So these are the winners of the match. And that was it, nothing really that special, a decent opening. I thought it's going to be a main event, but it was not, and yeah, it was pretty decent, I didn't really mind the match. I don't know for how long we are going to see The Undertaker in the WWE, that's exactly what Michael Cole actually said. Hopefully next WrestleMania is the retirement match. I believe that this is something that we should already get, because this match was not bad, but he's ruining his legacy. I don't want to remember The Undertaker as this old 80-year-old man who can barely walk but still wrestles. I don't really want that. But anyway, that was a great way to open the show. What am I? Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch are backstage for a short interview about their mixed tag team match. Ugh. So thankfully, the ending was very good. We got the Revival versus the Usos for the Raw Tag Team Championships. Very entertaining match, but nothing that we haven't seen before. I like the double team superplex and splash combo, that was pretty entertaining, but then Jimmy tags in and helps clear the ring. The Usos look for a double splash on Wilder, but Dash interrupts. This leads to the Revival hitting the Shatter Machine on Jimmy for the 3 count, so they retained the championship. So I don't understand if the Revival are actually still with Shane McMahon or not, because it seems like they were a part of this group, a millionaires group. Now, Shane McMahon's jobbers, whatever the case may be. Speaking of jobbers, my man Zig, anyway. So, yeah. Are they still with Shane McMahon or not? I'm not quite sure, but they are still your Raw Tag Team Champions. Complaining can achieve a lot. We got Cesaro versus Alistar Black. Like expected, an entertaining match. It didn't really matter as well. I mean, Alistar Black is going to win anyway. It's his debut match. Because in the WWE, you can have a lot of debuts. That's the, anything can happen in the WWE. That's what they say all the time. So, we got the match, and like expected, very entertaining. I liked seeing Cesaro's uppercut again. But of course, Alistar Black won the match with the Black Mass. Speaking of Alistar Black, what we need right now is Alistar Black versus Randy Orton. We got Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross versus Bayley. If anything special happened during the entrances, I don't know. I skipped it. So that was a handicap match, and like expected, it felt like a, filler match, a toilet break, let's be honest. Wasn't a fan of that at all. But, Bayley retained the championship by pinning Nikki Cross after hitting her with a flying elbow drop. This rivalry is definitely going to continue, whether between Bayley and Alexa Bliss or Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross. I mean, something is still going to happen, and I'm very, very disappointed in that. Braun Strowman versus Bobby Lashley. It was a last man standing match, and it was exactly what a last man standing match is supposed to look like. So, I don't even know where to start. I mean, we got this spot, this spot, this spot, this spot, this spot. You get the point. It was a pretty entertaining match. Extreme Rules pay-per-view. Extreme Rules match? What? That actually makes sense? Extreme match at an Extreme Rules pay-per-view? What? Anyway, so at least we got that. And the ending was pretty special as well. I mean, in the middle of the match, we got This Is Awesome chance. Like I've said, Lashley and Strowman. This is awesome chance. At Lashley and Strowman. Am I dreaming? What is happening right here? Anyway, so we got this amazing spot where basically Bobby Lashley wanted to push Braun Strowman. But Braun Strowman did his finisher through this thing, whatever it was. The only bad thing about this spot was that there was no sound. Like, there was no sound whatsoever, so it kind of lacked impact. But then again, the ending was absolutely amazing. So, referee is at like a 7 or 8 count. Braun Strowman just breaks the wall and already celebrates, but because he basically won the match. So, it was pretty, predictable that Braun Strowman is winning this one. But that was a very, very good last man standing match, very unexpected, and if Paul Heyman made you care for a second about Braun Strowman and Bobby Lashley, if it was Paul Heyman's idea, well, like I've said, he needs a raise. SmackDown Live Tag Team Championships, Roman and Daniel Bryan versus Heavy Machinery versus The New Day. Again, you have so many great tag teams in the ring, you already know what to expect. Didn't disappoint, as a matter of fact, it was better than expected. And in my predictions video, I've said that I want to see the New Day as champions, like all 3 members as champions, and that's exactly what they did, as expected. Like, I was like, the Kofi Kingston is your new WWE champion. Why wouldn't you use that opportunity to give the New Day the tag team championships as well, so all of them are your champions? That's like a missed opportunity, and hopefully they capitalized on that tonight. So all 3 members of the New Day are your champions. Like I've said, an amazing match, very entertaining, many spots, impossible to remember all of them. At the end of it, Braun looks for a moonsault off the top, but Big E catches him, and then Woods tags himself in. They hit the midnight hour double team on Braun for the 3 count. I mean, that ending was absolutely amazing. I thought that Big E is going to do his finisher, but they did a double team move, and that was maybe even better. I don't know, but very good match. Very good match. And like I've said, this pay-per-view had a lot of good wrestling, but not for an Extreme Rules pay-per-view, so that's kind of a bummer. The New Day are backstage celebrating, but then Paul Heyman interrupts, walks out to the stage, and says that Brock Lesnar is going to cash in tonight, either for the WWE title or the Universal title. But you never know. Am I telling the truth, or am I Paul Heyman? He was being both. He was actually being both. I thought it's a walrus, but it was actually Paul Heyman. Yeah, that promo actually makes so much sense right now, and it tells a bit of a story. I really like that. When he said that Brock Lesnar is going to cash in, I was 100% sure that it's not going to happen because Paul Heyman said it. So they kinda swerved us, and I really like that. Ricochet versus AJ Styles. Have you seen the Ricochet video? Have you seen him doing this to himself? Have you? I'm not even... Yes. Yes. Yes, down there. I've seen that video by an accident. Why no one told me that before? That's like a month-old news, and I've realized that just now. And I cannot look at Ricochet the same way I did. It will take time. It will take time. Anyway, good match, as always. We all knew that. Unfortunately, it was not an Extreme Rules match. I felt like they could use that opportunity. But, well, it should have been a tables match or something, you know. They would help AJ Styles, you know, the Good Brothers. And Ricochet would lose the match, but not really look weak at all. That was the same thing that happened right here as well. I mean, they interfered. And AJ won the match with an AJ Styles off the top rope. Ricochet doesn't look weak, I know, but if that's an Extreme Rules pay-per-view, use a tables match or something, why not? Anyway, so AJ Styles is your new United States champion. Maybe that's good, you know, we want to see Ricochet as this underdog, and it will tell a great story. I mean, he's the underdog, the champion is a bad guy, he will, you know, eventually win back the championship anyway, so I believe that this match, this result, everything about this match was a success. We got Kevin Owens versus Dolph Ziggler. Oh boy, an unannounced match. I cannot wait to see wow, what the freaking happened. What just happened right here? Kevin Owens gets a Stone Cold Stunner on Dolph Ziggler and pins him. That match lasted for like 10 seconds. My boy Ziggler. He was just facing Kofi Kingston for the WWE Championship. What have you done to my boy Dolph Ziggler? That was embarrassing. I was like, maybe Ziggler is going to become the new WWE Champion, you know, by beating Kofi. No! He's gonna be jobbing in 10-15 second matches. Like, I appreciate what Kevin Owens did after the match. He got the same promo basically. But why? Why you gotta sacrifice Ziggler? That's... Vince, that's not Kurt Hawkins. That's Dolph Ziggler, 2-time World Heavyweight Champion. Maybe you kinda mixed up these two. Anyway, that was embarrassing. Samoa Joe versus Kofi Kingston, in my opinion, was a bit of disappointment. I mean, first of all, it was very obvious that Kofi is going to win anyway, and then the match wasn't that good anyway. I was not a fan. Many people say that Samoa Joe is a great wrestler, and maybe he is, but his matches in the WWE never really surprised me in a very good way. Like, I was never really into the guy. And that's basically just my opinion. At the end of the match, Kofi and Joe hit each other with strikes until Joe misses one and Kofi answers with Trouble in Paradise for the 3 count. Not sure why we didn't get the New Day celebrating with Kofi Kingston, but anyway, that's not the point. I was like, you know, maybe Brock Lesnar should have cashed in against Kofi Kingston, because that would be a bit different. But then again, I remember Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch, and I'm glad that he cashed in for the Universal Championship. And we got Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch versus Baron Corbin and Lacey Evans. I mean, I gotta be honest, that match was entertaining. I mean, we got many cool spots, many extreme spots, and that match was actually extreme, like, I'm not gonna lie. But I could not really get into it as much as I would like to, because I'm like, I know, all of us knew that Baron Corbin and Lacey Evans are not gonna win the championships. It was pretty obvious. The ratings are not good anyway. Why would they give the titles to these two? It was a filler storyline. A storyline that was not very good in the first place, by the way. So, anyway, I don't even want to talk about that match for way too long. I just gotta talk about the ending. People want intergendered matches in the WWE. I really don't want to see that. Like, why? There's women's titles, there's men titles. It's really unnecessary in my opinion. But I like things like these. So basically, Baron Corbin was pretty desperate and he hits Becky Lynch with the end of days. I marked out, like, seriously. This is why I don't want these matches. When that happens, it's special. I like that. Baron Corbin is a douchebag and he hits Lynch with his finisher. And then we have a mad Seth Rollins. Like, Seth Rollins was shaking. The man was shaking. He beaten the crap out of Baron Corbin with a kendo stick, then a steel chair, and then we got 3 curb stomps for the victory. Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch retained the championships, and then we got Brock Lesnar's music. I was almost sure he's not gonna cash in, and then the bell rings. I was like, oh shoot, brother. Seth Rollins is about to lose the championship, and I don't know why, but I'm very happy about that. Brock Lesnar, F5, and he wins the championship. Brock Lesnar is a new Universal Champion. I know I've criticized him a lot, all of us did that, but at this point I was like, you know, I didn't really like Brock Lesnar as Universal Champion, but Seth Rollins was worse. So, I'll take it. I guess I'll take it. Something happened. He finally cashed in. No more Paul Heyman teasing us. I'm happy. Let me know what you think. I'm confused. I'm pretty confused with this pay-per-view, but like I've said, I really enjoyed it. So, thank you for watching this video. I would give this WWE pay-per-view 6.9 out of 10, you know. If it was not called Extreme Rules pay-per-view, I would give it like 7.5 out of 10, or maybe even 8, but probably not. But because it was called Extreme Rules pay-per-view and we didn't get enough of that, I felt like it was a bit disappointing. So thank you for watching this video. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Follow me on Amino. This is something that I will use a lot to make WWE content and non-WWE content. Download Amino and follow TheGreatOne. The link is in description. Thank you very much. And as always, your boy TheGreatOne. Peace, love, and hugs.